It's been 1 week since the deadly shooting in Toronto's Greektown. Many in this city are still struggling to deal with what happened and the impact it's had. This evening, the mayor, John Tory, returned to the Danforth to reflect on the people who continue to gather to pay their respects.
And that's what shows you how strong this community is. And it doesn't take away from the tragedy, it doesn't take away from the grieving, but it just shows you this is a real community, and we've got to make sure it stays that way and that we fight off anything that is going to threaten that.
Today, people offered their condolences to the families of the two people killed in the attack, 10-year-old Juliana Kozis and 18-year-old Reese Fallon. The CBC's Greg Ross has more on a community still in mourning.
It feels like a nightmare where we can't wake up.
1 week after the horrific shooting on the Danforth, many still feel the pain. This afternoon, family, friends, and people from the community gathered at a public visitation for Reese Fallon, the 18-year-old woman who was shot and killed last Sunday.
I come because I'm a mom myself, and I felt really sad about what happened last week.
Members of the Toronto Police Mounted Unit stood guard outside while mourners made their way inside for one last goodbye.
I don't think we're anywhere near starting the healing process yet. We're still trying to accept what has happened.
Julie Steele is a family friend who knew Fallon well and spoke to her just hours before she died.
We just talked about how her summer was going, how her family was doing. I can't believe we're never going to have another conversation ever again.
At the spot where she was gunned down, a man who is still haunted after witnessing her last moments.
It ingrains itself in your memory.
Mike Nemeth lives just steps away from this fountain. He was one of the first to arrive on scene among a group of people who helped the victims. He says the mental images from that night are hard to shake.
The thing that triggers me now is when I hear ambulances and fire trucks going by, it kind of brings me back to that moment.
He finds comfort in coming back to this same spot every day.
When all this mayhem was going on, there was just people yelling and screaming, and you couldn't hear anything. But now we're here and we can hear the fountain. It kind of brings some calm.
Fallon's funeral is scheduled for Monday morning, and we're also expecting the Prime Minister to be in the city Monday afternoon. We're told that he will come here to this fountain where he will lay flowers at this growing memorial for the victims. Greg Ross, CBC News, Toronto.
And while the Danforth tries to return to some sense of normal, one stark reminder of last Sunday night, Dimitri's, a dessert restaurant where the gunman opened fire, remains boarded up. It will likely be closed for several more days.